I know you guys love me. I love you guys too. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support on my last video. Guess who's back? So let's just jump right straight into it, right? Because like it never ends in a football, right? If you see me looking down, I have notes. There has been a resurgence, not resurgence, but a very much high number of gambling scandals. So we saw one last season, the ending of last season with Ivan Toney, where he was banned for betting, and then fast forward months later, we're hearing that Tonali and Fagioli also were caught betting, and I'm just concerned for our footballers. You guys know that it is not allowed to bet on either yourself, your team, or a third party, whatever the case may be. It's not allowed, and you still do it. And then the excuses are so poor, because even with Tony, his interview he did with, I think it was Gary Neville, and his explanation on why he betted, it wasn't serious, it wasn't anything damaging, but the culture and the media just, you know, swarmed down on him and made him out to be a criminal. And I blame only himself and his actions, because he knew better and he knew what was gonna be expected of you once you're found guilty. I love that interview, by the way. It was very insightful to learn so much about him, and also to get that personable side. Back to the betting, however. Stupid. Same fast forward now, Tonali and his teammate. The excuses of their agents is that, oh, you know, they have an addiction and they can't stop doing it, and they just love to, like, these are grown-ass men who know the consequences, and they're gonna just have to live with it. Like, I'm not sorry for them. Anyways, Neymar recently was injured in a game that was played between Brazil and Uruguay. Sad thing for him. He has ruptured his ACL and torn his meniscus in his knee. So much to unpack there. This is not the first Neymar injury. This is not the first life or career threatening injury, but it's happened so many times where you think that his body has let him down and his body has failed him to show up for football and to be the star that we all wanted Neymar to be. And the conversations around Neymar as a whole is so disingenuous, because people treat Neymar like he's a bum or he hasn't lived up to expectations, which you can argue that fact, but you can also not see that he has struggled with health issues, same as Hazard. You know, they did not reach their full potential, not because they're lazy or not because they're not talented, but because their body just went against them. Luck went against them. What's funny, which even though a player getting injured is not funny, what funny is on a Neymar thing is Al Hilal, the club he plays for, decided, you know, let's update the fans, but in such a weird way. Why would you put the picture of him getting injured and then his name in quotes like Neymar? Please be serious. You guys could have written an actual article, uploaded it to your website with a picture of Neymar to just, you know, detail what happened. But no, anything for the likes and engagement on that app. But back to what I was saying in regards to Neymar. Not sure what this looks like for him. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to sit here and be like, pretend like I know what that means. But we've seen where players fail to come back after a serious knee injury, and it is nothing to joke about. You know, you may never perform at the same level. He's also in his 30s. Like, some say call it quits, but I say there's still hope. All right. Apparently, Messi has won the Balon Dor, which is scheduled to be given out October 30th, and it is not October 30th. But yet, there are rumors that he has won. Now, here's where the catch is. A lot of persons they believe, and I touched on it on my last video, that he does not deserve the World Cup. Now, a lot of the conversation, and I'm going to use my hands to, you know, a lot of the conversations that I've seen been happening is that they can't use a 7-game tournament to decide the best player. We are bringing the World Cup down to a 7-game tournament, not the best competition on the planet. A 7-game tournament. All right, let's go with that. So also, people are objectifying to the fact that if Messi won the World Cup and deserved the Balon d'Or. Players who also have won the World Cup should also deserve the Balon d'Or. But here's how football politics works. This is a moment that has been coming forever for him to win the World Cup. His performance leading up and throughout his club and country performances were great. So I am sorry that your fave back then did not win, did not get recognized, did not make top 3. It happens. If I was to go off that notion, Kylian Mbappe deserves the World Cup twice, the Ballon d'Or twice, right? So the conversations we're having are just not making any sense, because we're arguing that a treble winner deserves it over. Maybe in any other year, but in a year where Messi has put up incredible performances, you cannot beat Messi in that regards. It's just not possible, and I don't know if I'm making sense, but I hope I am. So I think he wholeheartedly does deserve the World Cup based on the performances throughout the entire, not just the World Cup. Haaland, again, great performances, but he is not the best player of the year, and he was not the most outstanding player of the year. I don't know how to say that again in a different language. Stay with me here. Jude Bellingham is a good player. He's entertaining. I was talking about superstars, and I was talking about how we lack those. Jude can become a superstar, but he's overhyped. Stay with me now. I think people are putting too much on Jude to be the next best English thing, to be the next best after Messi, to be the next best, and I'm happy for the young man. I'm happy that he's flourishing, and as an Englishman moving to La Liga and proving to critics that not all talents should play in the Premier League. I love that. I'm with him on that. But I think people should allow him to grow, prove himself, win some trophies first, put on performances consistently, and not put the pressure on him to be better than all the others and be the best, and all these narratives I'm seeing running around about him. Like, that's gonna let people hate the player more than how they actually do. Allow him to grow as an individual and as a player before we start throwing out he's a legend icon and he's going to be the key politics out of football rhetoric only works when you are aligned with whoever's agenda. So we currently see that there is a genocide happening in Palestine due to the hands of Israel. And I've seen multiple clubs, multiple leagues, all these, people in the football sphere come out on behalf of Israel. Some persons have kept it, I'm neutral, I just want this to end, and there's others who just spew rubbish. And so you have a state that whatever side you're on, which is only one side, and that is for the people of Palestine to be free. Players have come out in support of Palestine, giving their remarks, and they're being suspended, which is crazy to me. They're not supporting terrorism or some crazy ideology. They're supporting that innocent people don't lose their lives. And it's keep politics out of football. We've even seen in the past where players have, branded around with the Palestinian flag, and they are met with harsh critique. It's keep politics out of football when you don't align with what the Gen Pop is saying and what the worthy, let's say, interest of these clubs and organization lies. That's crazy to me. These players shouldn't be suspended for saying free Palestine. Jassim, I hope I'm saying that right, has the word. His bid was rejected by the Glazer family, and he also had pulled out before they had come to that decision. Due to the fact that Manchester United is going up for sale, the premise of the sale is that the owner, whoever buys the club now, gets 25% shares, and they get to handle the footballing aspect. That's what the Glazer family wants. And who is willing to accept that is Sir Jimmy Ratcliffe, British billionaire, all of that stuff. Now here's where the conflict lies, because I don't think people are opening their eyes to what's happening. A club as large and influential and English as Manchester United will not allow themselves to have Western owners like other clubs. Manchester United was always meant to be an English club. Despite that the Glazers are not English, they're still Americans, they're still within that frame of mind, given the culture of Manchester United. And I do think Saudi run club Saudi core would have helped them financially due to all the debts that they are in and due to all the money mistakes they've made. That would have propelled them. Also in terms of management, I think they would have gone just a tad bit higher in the ranks, and I can see why their fans will be upset that they're not going to get that. It's fine, it's great, it's good. For rivals, we are laughing, we're having a fun time. However, for Sir Jimmy Ratcliffe, as a businessman he is, I do think the business structure is going to change at Manchester United. Like, it cannot get any worse than the Glazers. Can it? Okay. So they're still deciding on whether or not that's gonna be a thing. But for now, as it stands, Sheikh Jassim will not be the owner of Manchester United. More than likely, it is going to be Sir Jimmy Ratcliffe. But as time goes on, there's going to be more things coming out about that. And we're going to, hear more about it. So what I want to end this video on is the Salah versus Hazard debates. You people are crazy. You people are crazy. No, it is. We can say that yes, Hazard's time at Real Madrid was disappointed. We all wanted him to flourish. We all put him on a pedestal that he is going to be in that top 3 conversation of this generation's talents. It didn't happen. Again, he's one of them that his health failed him. His body failed him. He's not, and this is the thing, not every player is Ronaldo or Messi that can sustain their body and sustain their athleticism for 30 odd years. It doesn't work like that. So the conversation that I see people having is Salah is better than. Oh, in the end, Salah won the debate. Now don't get me wrong, I respect Salah. He's talented, but he will never touch the legacy, the impact that Hazard has touched. And if you can go back to his Leon days, his 7 years of carrying that Chelsea team, different managers, different position, different tactical setups, different washed players that he is being played with, like, Salah will never reach that status. Don't get me wrong again. Salah has been, since the last 5 or so seasons in the Premier League, stepped up to the mantle of consistency. But he's not as good as Hazard. You can bring the accolades like, oh yeah, Hazard has never won a Champions League. International, let's go international stage. Salah has never delivered a performance that on the international stage like Hazard has. And then I see people throwing Neymar in the mix, like, oh, since Neymar got injured, everybody's like, oh well, Salah is better. I'm talking about this is Hazard and Neymar, 2 wonder kids who burst onto the scene. Neymar more, impactful, much bigger scale. He sits on the seat with legends. He's being compared to Ronaldinho at this point. Hazard, second best dribbler after Messi. Like, he is there. So to put him in a caliber with Salah, these 2 players are big game players. They have the stats, the numbers, the appearances, they have the performance. Like, your eyes, work with your eyes, people. They are better. Hazard is better than Salah. Neymar is better. Like, I cannot believe this is a real thing. And you people are crazy. we can bring all the numbers, all the graphs, all the everything, but it still doesn't take away from the fact that Hazard is better. And I'm not gonna go on more about it. That's just that. But yeah, thank you guys for supporting me. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go and check out my last video as well, and my shorts and all my content across all the platforms. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me.